So welcome to the video lecture series on principles of compiler design. In today's video lecture, we'll be learning about LALR parsing, that is look ahead LR parsing. So we'll take up a grammar called as S tends to CC, C tends to AC, and C tends to D. And the first step what we have to do is we have to look into the starting symbol. So what is the starting symbol here? So S is called as a starting symbol. So we have to introduce an S dash production. Okay, so that is called as LR one of items. I will go here. So S dash tends to dot S. Okay, and then comma by default the initial look ahead symbol is actually dollar. Now we actually compare this production with an equation called as A tends to alpha dot B beta. Okay, so dot B means to whom you have to find the closure operation. So B is actually S here, beta is epsilon, nothing is there after S, so that is beta is epsilon, and A is called as dollar. So first of beta A is actually epsilon into A, it is dollar. Okay, so we'll get an answer called as dollar. Now introduce, since dot is before S, we have to find the closure operation for S. That means include all the productions of S. Okay, so we have one production for S, S tends to CC, I introduce a dot before that. And the look ahead symbol what we have found here is actually dollar. That's what I've given here. Okay, dollar. Now, when you come again, you can see a dot before C. Again, it's called as a non-terminal. C is called as a non-terminal. So introduce all the closure operation for C. So introduce all the productions for C here. All the production for C is C tends to AC and C tends to dot D. Okay. Now, how to find the look ahead symbol for this? Okay. Now, B is, we compare this with the standard equation called as A tends to alpha B dot B beta. Okay, so dot B means B is called as C and beta is called as C. Okay, when very next to B is beta. Okay, beta is also called as C. So A is actually dollar. So the equation is actually we have to see first of beta A. Okay, first of beta A. Beta is actually now C. Okay, so we have to see first of beta. So that means first of C. First of C, what is the value first? We have A and then we have D. So we have two symbols, look ahead symbols for that. So when you introduce the closure operation for C, we have taken two look ahead symbols, that is A bar D. That's what I have written here, A bar D and A bar D. Okay, now introduce this new item set as item set 0. Now you see item set 0 where dot is before S. We have to process all these dots. Okay, go to of item set 0 comma S. That means place this dot one step on the right. Okay, so go to of I0 comma S. Okay, I0 comma S. It is actually S dash tends to S dot dollar. Now this is called as item set 1. Now come to next production in I0. It is actually dot is before C. Now we have to process this dot one step on the right, so it will become C dot C, S tends to C dot C. So now when I write like that, S tends to C dot C dollar. Okay. Now dot C means a dot, C is actually dot is before a non-terminal here. So find the closure operation. So closure operation means introduce all the productions for C. So C tends to dot AC, C tends to dot D. Okay. Now how to find the look ahead symbol? Now this dot C is called as B. Okay, and then anything after that is called as beta. Beta is nothing, and comma A. Okay, A is dollar. So beta is epsilon. Epsilon into A is dollar. Okay, epsilon into dollar is dollar. So first of dollar is actually dollar. Okay, so introduce this look ahead symbol called as dollar in all the respective productions for the closure operation. Okay, name this item set as item set 2. Now we go for items at 0 comma A. Okay, now we have to process this dot before A here. Okay, go to of I0 comma A. I0 comma A means move this dot one step on the right, so it will become C tends to A dot C. Okay, A bar D. Now see here in item set 3 and go to of I0 comma A, we have C tends to A dot C, A bar D. Okay, now what is B here? Now again we C is actually we have to find the closure because dot is before a non-terminal. Now beta is actually epsilon and A is actually A bar D. Okay, now first of epsilon into A bar D is actually A bar D. Again you will get a same symbol called as A bar D here. So introduce all this A bar D in the respective closure operation. So C tends to A dot AC, A bar D, C tends to dot D, A bar D. So now name this item set as item set 3. Now we will come for item set 0 and process this D. Dot is before D. When you process this, it will become C tends to D dot A bar D. Okay, go to of I0 comma D. So go to of I0 comma D. I0 comma D is actually giving me the value called as C tends to D dot A bar D, and name this as item set 4. Okay. Now item 0 has been completely processed. Okay, completely processed. Now come for I1. Okay, a dot is at the end. Dot is at the end. No need to process this. We'll skip off. Now in I2, when you come here, dot is before C. We have to process this. So go to of I2 comma C. Okay, go to of I2 comma C will become, when you place this dot one step on the right, it will become CC dot dollar. Okay. Now go to of I2 comma C. It is here. Go to of I2 comma C is here. S tends to CC dot dollar. Okay. Name this item set as item set 5. Now again we go for item set 2. In item set 2 we have C tends to dot AC. So go to of I2 comma A. Okay. So it will become C tends to A dot C. Okay. Now we will go for I2 comma A. So I2 comma A, C tends to A dot C dollar. Okay. Now dot C is actually, we have to find the closure operation for C because dot is before a non-terminal. Introduce all the protections for C. So C tends to dot AC, C tends to dot D, and then when we see here, we have to find the local symbol. So B is actually C dot B. Okay, and after that it is called as beta. Beta is epsilon, and the next is dollar. Dollar is actually called as A. Okay, so beta A. So we will get an answer called as dollar. Beta is epsilon into A is dollar. So we will get the same answer called as this one. So dollar is an answer. So you introduce all this lookup symbol in all the closure operation protection. Now I2 A has been processed. Now come to I2D. Okay, go to of I2 comma D. Go to of I2 comma D produces I2 comma D produces C tends to D dot. Okay, dollar. Okay, so we have to see the lookup symbol also. So lookup symbol is actually this not synonymous or similar. Then that item set we have to name a new item set. Okay. Now I name this item set as item set 7. Now come to item set 3. Okay, come to item set 3. The item set 3 dot is before C here. So go to of I3 comma C. It will become C tends to AC dot A bar B. So go to of I3 comma C. It becomes C tends to AC dot A bar B. Now in I3 we come for the next one called as C tends to A. Okay, that is I3 comma A we have to process. I3 comma A will become C tends to A dot C A bar D, isn't it? Okay. Now if I name this, what will happen here is when I place this dot here, it will become A dot C A bar D. And again, when I introduce C closure operation, I will get the same item set called as item set 3, isn't it? So go to of I3 comma A produces me the same item set. So that's what I have written. Go to of I3 comma A produces I3 itself. Now come to the next one. Go to of I3 comma D. Go to of I3 comma D. Place this dot or one step on the right. You will get C tends to D dot A bar D. Okay, but C tends to D dot A bar D is already there in an item set called as item set 4. So go to of I3 comma D produces I4. Okay, so that's what I have written. Go of I3 comma D produces me I4. Okay, now come to I5. Okay, I5, I3, I4 no need to process this. Okay, I4 no need to process because dot is at the end, we can skip it off. Now in I5, dot is at the end, we can skip it off. Okay, now come to I6. When you come to I6, See here, dot is actually before C. So go to of I6 comma C, it will become C tends to AC dot dollar. So go to of I6 comma C is C tends to AC dot dollar. Okay. Now name this item set as item set 9. Now we will go for item set 6. Item set 6. Item set 6, we have to process this A. So C tends to, when I place this dot one stop on the right, it will become A dot C dollar. Okay. Now again we have to introduce the closure operation for C. So I will get the same answer. I6 comma A produces me I6 itself. So go to of I6 comma A produces me I6. Now we will come for I6 comma D. Okay, I6 comma D. Okay, C tends to D dot dollar. It will introduce C tends to D dot dollar. Okay, C tends to D dot dollar. It's already available in I7. Okay, it's already available in I7. Okay, so go to of I6 comma D produces I7. Okay. Now we will come for I7 now. I7 dot is at the end, no need to process this. In I8 dot is at the end, no need to process, and that's it. And I9 also we have dot at the end, no need to process. So we have the canonical LR items or LR1 items spanning from I0 to I9. Okay, so this is the item sets here. Now the next step what we have to do is we have to find uniform production where there is a slight there is a change in lookahead symbol alone. What do you have to do? We have to merge such kind of productions. Now when you just see here I3, we have a production called as C tends to A dot C dot AC dot D, and you have a lookup symbol A bar D in I3. And when you go for I6, you can also find the same production there, but there is a change only in the lookup symbol. So except a lookup symbol, everything is same. Okay, there in the first case in 3 you have A bar D, in this case you have dollar. Okay, but other than that, this two productions are similar. Now what we have to do is we have to merge this I3 and I6. I3 and I6. Okay, now I'm merging this I3 and I6. So I3 C tends to A dot C is the first production. We have two lookup symbols A bar D and dollar. So I make bar dollar. Okay, these two lookup symbols are merged together. Now C tends to A dot AC A bar D dollar, and similarly C tends to dot D A bar D dollar, because this I3 item set 3 and item set 6 are merged together. So since both grammars are similar, we have merged it, and we have merged the lookup symbols also. Now when we go for I4 we can see that C tends to D dot, okay, A bar D, and when we go for I7 we can see that C tends to D dot, it's dollar. Okay, only there is a lookup symbol change. So what we are doing is we are merging this I4 and I7. Okay, when we are merging I4 and I7, it will be C tends to D dot A bar D bar dollar, merging the lookup symbol. And we are merging, once again we look for I8 we have C tends to A C dot, okay, A bar D is a lookup symbol, and when you go for I9 we see the same production, C tends to AC dot dollar. So we are merging 8 and 9. When you merge 8 and 9, so it will become I8 9 C tends to AC dot A bar D dollar. Now we are merging three item sets here on forming a new item set called as I36, 47 and 89. Okay, now we will construct the predictive parsing table. So we have initially canonical item sets from I0 to I9. Okay, but since we have merged it together, now we will start it from I0, I1, I2. 3 and 6 are merged here, so we have written as 3, 6. Okay, 4 and 7 are merged here, so we write it as 4 and 7. and 5 is not merged with anything else, so I write 5, and 8 and 9 are merged here, so I write 8 and 9. Okay, now we write all the terminals here. So we have two terminals, A, D and dollar. Okay, dollar is actually when we just find the follow here, dollar will be there. Now, and two terminal non-terminals are S and C. Okay, so we have constructed the table like this. Now we will do one thing. We will how to fill this table now. So how to fill this table? So to fill this table, first process all the dots before all terminals in all item sets. So this is rule number 1. Now we will check it out. We'll check it out. So when we take I0, we have to see only the dots before terminals now. So we have A and D. Okay, we have A and D in I0. A dot is before terminals A and D. So go to of I0 comma A, I0 comma D. So I0 comma A produces me I3, and I0 comma D produces me I4. Okay, but here there is a technical glitch here. So since it produces I3, but 3 is actually merged with 6, isn't it? So I cannot write S3, I have to write S6. Okay, go to I0 comma A produces I3. Since 3 is merged with 6, I should not write S3, I should write S6. And since 4 is merged with 7, I should write I47, S47. Okay, so what are the lookahead symbol? The lookahead symbol for I0 comma A is A bar D, and I0 comma D is A bar D. Okay, so in look I0 A, I write it as S36. Okay, okay, and for I0 comma D, okay, I write it as I0 comma D, I write it as I0 comma D. I0 comma D is actually goes to 4, isn't it? So in I0 D, I should write it as 47. So write it as 4S47. Okay. Now the next step is, now see whether a dot is before a terminal in I1. Okay, in I1 there is not a dot before any terminal here. Now come to I2. I2, we can see that dot is before A and dot is before D. So I2 comma A, I2 comma D we have to see. So I2 comma A produces me I6. I2 comma A produces me I6. So since 6 is merged with 3, I have to write it as S36 in A. Okay, I2 comma A, and I2 comma D produces me 7. So 7 is actually I7. 7 is merged with 4. So I have to write it as 47. Okay. Now see here. So I2 comma A and I2 comma D. So I2 comma A. So I2 comma A, I have to write it as S36, and I2 comma D, it is actually I7. So 7 is merged with 4. I have to write it as S47. Okay. Now I'll go for this thing. Come to I3. So I3, whether dot is before any terminal here? Yes, dot is before terminal A and D. So I have to see I3 comma A and I3 comma D. Go to of I3 comma A, I3 comma D. So go to of I3 comma A produces me I3 itself. Okay, that is I have to write it as, instead of 3 I have to write 36. I3 comma D produces me I4. So I have to write it as I47, S47. Okay. So I3 comma A and I3 comma D. Okay. So go to of I3 comma A, write it as S36, and go to comma I3 comma D produces S47. Now you will write it as, go for I4 now. So I4, there is not any dot before terminals here. Okay. I5 also we don't find any dot before terminals. I6, okay, since I6 we have already seen that it is merged with the 3, I6 we are already merging with the 3, 6, okay, it has been already filled now. Now come to I7, I7 no need to, because dot is not at the end, I8 and I9 also dot is not before a terminal, okay. So now what is the second rule we have to take? So second rule is process all dots before all non-terminals in all item sets. In all item sets. This is the rule. Now let's come from item set 1, item set 0. Item set 0 we can see a dot is before S here. So go to of I0 comma S and go to of I0 comma C to 1. So go to of I0 comma S produces me I1. Okay. Produce me I1. Go to of I0 comma C produces I2. Go to of I0 comma C produces I2. Okay. So in, since it's a non-terminal, go to of I0 comma 1, go to of I0 comma S produces me I1, isn't it? So I0 is here, 1, S is here, so I write it as, it produces I1, so simply write it as 1. Go to of 0 comma C produces me I2, so I simply write it as 2. Okay. Now come to I1. So I1 dot is not before a non-terminal. In I2 dot is before a non-terminal. So go to of 2 comma C. 2 comma C. So go to of 2 comma C. Go to of 2 comma C produces I5. Okay. So go to of 2 comma C is here, produces I5, so simply write it as 5. Now go to of C for item set 3. So item set 3, you can see that dot is before C here. So go to of 3 comma C. Go to of 3 comma C. So go to of 3 comma C. 3 comma C produces me I8. Okay, but I8 is actually merged with I9, isn't it? I3 comma C produces I8. It is merged with I9. So I3 comma C. So 3 comma C, I3 6. Okay, 3 is merged with 6. I3 comma C produces 8 here, I8. So I write it as I8 9 9. 8 9 alone. Only the number. Okay. Now come to I4. I4 dot is not before a terminal, non-terminal. I5 also dot is not before a non-terminal. I6 already we have done it, dot is before C. Go to of 6 comma C produces same thing. Okay. Okay. Go to of C. Go to of 6 comma C. Okay. Go to of 6 comma C. So what is 6 comma C here? Go to of 6 comma C produces me I9. Okay. Go to of 6 comma C produces I9. Okay. I9 is actually, it has merged with 8 here. Okay. So we have to write as 8 9. So I6 comma C, it is already written. Okay. I6 comma C, it is already written. So I6 and I3 are merged here. No need to process it. Now come here for I4. Okay. I6 we have seen. I7, come to I7. I7 also no need to process because dot is at the end. Okay. And I8 no need to process, and I9 no need to process, dot is at the end. Okay. Now see the last procedure. The last procedure is process all dot at the end of the production in each item set. So this is the thing. Now how to do that? Now when you take up I0, okay, first we take I0. I0 we cannot see any production where dot is at the end. We can skip it off. But in I1 we can see S dash tends to S dot. Okay, but this is an augmented production. If it is an augmented production, I1 Okay, see the lookahead symbol. What is the lookahead symbol? It is dollar. So I1 dollar, we have to see, make it as accepted. Okay, it's an augmented protection. So in I1 where dollar is here, so write it as accepted, ACC. Now come to I2. Okay, come to I2. So in I2 we cannot see any dot at the end. Okay. Now in I3 also we cannot see dot at the end of the protection. In I4 we can see a dot at the end. C tends to D dot, and we have two lookup symbols called as A bar D. So we get this protection in I4. But what is the original protection for this? C tends to D is actually protection number 3, isn't it? C tends to D dot comes from C tends to D. That is the original protection. Okay, that is protection number 3. Now where it happens in item set 4. The lookup symbol is A bar D. Okay, so it is protection number 3. So okay, so in I4 is here. I4 means I47 it is merged with. Okay, so what is the lookup symbol? It is A and D. Okay, now the protection is actually third protection, so simply write it as R3. Okay, so now what you have to see here is, see, we just see the protections here. Okay, see the protection. So I4 and 7. Okay, I4 and 7. C tends to D that we are merging it together, isn't it? So we have written A bar D and dollar. Okay, for two lookup symbols we have mentioned it as R3. Okay, now we have to write it for C tends to D dot comes from C tends to D, that is protection number 3. Okay, so in dollar also we have to write it as R3. So in 47, A and D we have written it, that is two lookup symbols, and dollar also is a lookup symbol. So write it as R3. Okay. Now we will go for protection number 5, item set 5. In C item set 5. In item set 5, S tends to CC dot. Okay, that's a protection, and lookup symbol is dollar. Now S tends to CC dot is actually protection number 1, isn't it? So S tends to CC dot is protection number 1. So it happens in item set 5, isn't it? So in item set 5, where dollar is here, okay, dollar is here, okay. So dollar is called as a lookup symbol. So simply write it as R1. It's protection number 1, so write it as R1. Now the last one, okay. Now come to I8, 9. 8 and 9 has been merged here, okay. 6 and 7 has been already merged, okay. 6 is merged with 3 and A. 4 is merged with 7. Now 8 and 9. So we have a protection C tends to AC dot, okay. C tends to AC dot actually comes from the original protection called the second protection. Now what are the lookup symbol? A bar D bar dollar, okay. So it happens in I8, 9, okay. This happens in I8, 9. So I8, 9, so go and see here. So simply write it as in A, you have to write it as R2. In D, you have to write it as R2. And in dollar also, you have to write it as R2. Okay. So that's about filling the parsing table.
Okay, now what we have to do is we have to take grammar here. We have to take a valid string. Now the valid string is S tends to CC. Okay, we'll start with the first row. Then we can replace the C by AC. Now we will get ACC. Now this C can also be replaced by D, isn't it? Okay, so C can be replaced by D, so I write ADC. Okay, again that C can also be replaced by D. So the valid string which I take here is called as ADD. Okay, now we will start to parse this valid string. Okay, we will write ADD and ends by dollar. Dollar is called as a delimiter which denotes the end of the string. Now the next step, we start from the items at 0, isn't it? Items at 0. So items at 0 should be there in the stack. Now we see left side you have 0, right side you have A. Go to the parse table. So 0 and A which produces S36, isn't it? So we will write S36. In action, we'll write it as S36. 36 means push one element from the input to the stack and push this shift number also. Shift number is 36. So the next step is 0 followed by A, one element from, and 36. And what is left over here? We have D and D, DD dollar. Now left side you have 36, right side you have D. Okay, go to the parse table, 36 and D. So 36 and D is S47, isn't it? So write S47s, again that is a shift action. So push one element from the input, D will be pushed inside stack and 47 should be pushed. So you will get a result in stack as 0, A, 3, 6, D and 47. Remaining is D here, D dollar. Okay, now left side you have 47 and right side you have D. Okay, go to the parse table. So 47 and D. 47 and D meets in R3. Okay, 47 and D meets in R3. That is production number 3. Reduce action has to be performed. Production number 3 is actually C tends to D. So R3, write it as C tends to D. So in right side you have only one element in the rule. Okay, so you have to pop 2 elements from the stack. So what are the 2 elements? So 47 and D goes off. Okay, and remaining is 0, A, 3, 6. Now push C inside the stack, left side non-terminal. Okay, now 3, 6 and C, go to the table, parse table and see what is the output. 3, 6 and C, left side you have 3, 6, right side you have C. So 3, 6 and C have an answer called as 8, 9. Okay, so push this 8, 9 inside the stack. So 8, 9. Okay, then right side you have D. Okay, now 8, 9 and D, look into the table. 8, 9 and D. Okay, so 8, 9 and D. Okay, 8, 9 and D actually gives me the answer called as R2. Okay, R2 is called production number 2. So I'll write R2, production number 2 is C tends to AC. So R2, C tends to AC. Okay, AC means we have 2 elements on the right side, so pop 4 elements from the stack. Okay, what are the 4 elements? So 8, 9, C, 3, 6 and A goes off. Okay, so what is remaining? 0 will be remaining. And push C inside the stack. Okay, left side element C inside the 0 C, and 0 is on the left side, right side you have C. Go to the parsing table and see what is the output. 0 and C. 0 and C meets here at 2. 0 and C. Okay, write 2 inside the stack. Write 2 inside the stack. Okay, so D and dollar. D and dollar. Okay, D, to verify D and dollar now. D and D, 2 and D. 2 and D meets in S47. So shift action now. Shift action S47. So now push D inside the stack and push 47. So 0, what will be remaining? 0, C, 2, D and 47. Okay, $4. Left side, right side you have dollar. 47 and dollar. Check with it. So 47 and dollar. 47 and dollar goes for R3. R3 is production number 3. Production number 3 is C tends to D. So R3, production number 3. Okay, right side you have D, only one element, so pop 2 elements from the stack. So 47 and D goes off. 47 and D goes off. So 0, C2. C2. Now push the C inside the stack. Now 2 on the left side, C on the right side. Verify in the parse table. 2 and C. 2 and C. So 2 and C meets in 5. Okay. So write 5 inside the stack. Write 5 inside the stack. So 5 and dollar. So once again verify the parse table. 5 and dollar. So 5 and dollar meets in R1. Okay, R1. R1 is production number 1. So R1 is production number 1. So production number 1 is S tends to CC. So R1 S tends to CC. So you have 2 elements on the right. So pop 4 elements from the stack. Okay. So what will go off? 5 goes off. C goes off 2 and again C. Okay, so 0 will be remaining, 0, and push S inside the stack. Push S inside the stack. Now verify 0 and S in the parse table. 0 and S in the parse table. So 0 and S in the parse table will produce 1 here. Okay, so write 1 and then dollar. Okay, left side you have 1, right side you have dollar. 1 and dollar, verify in the parse table. It is accepted. 1 and dollar is accepted. So that's it. Now if it is done, then you have taken a valid input and valid parsing table. Thanks for watching the video. Have a good day.